My name's Madeline Brooks, and I just turned 28. Morning rain tapped the window like an apology. I checked my phone. 0 messages, 0 mentions. Instagram told a crueler story. A carousel of last night's glow. Chloe Spencer, my younger sister, center frame, confetti halo. Every face I love, mom, cousins, neighbors, cheered. Caption: only one worth celebrating. I double-tapped ironically, commented, "Nice cupcakes." Mom replied in 5 brutal seconds, "At least someone's worth baking for." Silence. Then the ping of my own heartbeat. I typed back, soft as falling snow, "Enjoy it while you can." The story rewinds. 3-year-old Madeline Brooks already knew the rule: stay reliable. Mom called me her little planner. Chloe Spencer. Chloe Spencer was the sparkle. Flashback 10-year-old me. I wanted pizza in the yard, friends, leaf rustle. Instead, Chloe Spencer wanted ballet slippers. Mom shrugged. "We'll celebrate next weekend." That weekend never came. Hopes crumbled like stale bread. Fast-forward divorce. I was 12. Dad's footsteps vanished. Mom sank into couch cushions. Chloe Spencer slammed doors, screamed blame. I learned to cook boxed mac, pay the electric, tuck Chloe Spencer in. No one tucked me, just the scent of rain on empty driveways. Now Chloe Spencer gets pop-up celebrations. I get screenshots and the taste of being overlooked. Title card fades in. I secretly paid my younger sister's rent until the landlord called again. My name is Madeline Brooks. Chloe Spencer, favored kid, sparkle filter, queen of curated captions, still lives in her free apartment. And I still pay. Flashback. High school hallway tiles smelled like bleach and desperation. My 4.0 trembled in sweaty hands. I called Mom from a payphone. Static, chewing words, "Honor Society induction tonight." Silence. Then Mom said, "We're at Chloe's soccer game. Rain scent on the bleachers. She needs the cheer." Camera pans, empty auditorium seats, applause echoing for nobody. An ice cream tub melted in their back seat. One goal celebrated in a game they lost. Cut. Community college banners. Chloe dropped out, claimed it was too extra. Dad's voice crackled from a speakerphone. "You're strong, Madeline. She needs the win." Fast forward 2 years. I have an apartment the size of Mom's old classroom cubby, corner of Main and Hope. Phone rings. Landlord. 3 months overdue. My reflection wavers in a cracked mirror. Do I protect the favored kid, or stop being overlooked? Quiet dorm tonight. Neon sign buzzes outside my window, rain scent drifting through cracked glass. Screen glows. 0 household alerts. Then a DM flicks open. Sender, Chloe. 3 chilling words. "You're done bailing." My pulse matches the thunder outside. Was her landlord my last lie? Or hers? I inhale damp air. Future forks. Keep the secret, break the cycle, or watch the world find out when the eviction notice goes public. Chloe's next move feels inches away, hovering like static before the storm. Rather than let her face eviction, I set up automatic payments. I never told my household, and Chloe Spencer never acknowledged it. She still complained about barely making rent at household gatherings while I sat silently. Last Christmas, Chloe Spencer announced she had been promoted at the boutique where she worked part-time. Everyone toasted her success. Later, I overheard her telling Mom she had been fired weeks earlier, but did not want to ruin the holiday. I said nothing about the extra money I had sent when she texted claiming her heat might get shut off. My 27th birthday passed with a DM message from Mom. "Happy birthday. Taking Chloe Spencer shopping for her job interviews. Call you later." She never called. I spent the evening alone treating myself to takeout and a movie, telling myself it did not matter. A month ago, Dad called to ask if I could contribute to a special surprise they were planning. He would not elaborate, just said the household was pulling together for something important. I sent $500, assuming it was for Mom's upcoming 60th birthday. I even marked my calendar to make sure I would be available for whatever they planned. Now, looking at those Instagram photos, I realized what the special surprise had been: a party for Belle on the eve of my birthday. This morning, I woke up at 6:30, like any other workday, except it was not just any day. It was my 28th birthday. I lay in bed for a few extra minutes, allowing myself to hope that today might be different. Maybe there would be a DM from Mom, or even a call from Dad. At the very least, Chloe Spencer might remember, if only because Instagram would remind her. I checked my phone, 3 messages, one from my boss wishing me a happy birthday and letting me know she had left a card on my desk, one from my college roommate who never forgot, and one from my dentist's automated system reminding me about my cleaning next week. Nothing from household. It is still early, I told myself as I showered and dressed for work. Flash of 10-year-old Madeline pressed against the cold attic window, nose numb, watching Chloe's glittery 9th birthday bounce house pulse neon in the backyard. The bass of the music thumps through the floorboards. Her breath fogs the glass as she mouths the words to the happy birthday song nobody sings for her. A single forgotten purple balloon drifts past the pane like a bruise. 18 springs later, the same ache blooms. The office printer hums Monday quiet while Madeline's phone stays ice cold in her palm. No texts, no calls. Her mom's last DM: "Happy birthday, taking Chloe shopping for interviews. Call you later." Still glows like a slap. She forces a smile to the coworker who taped a paper crown to her monitor, then locks herself in the conference room under fluorescent lights that feel like judgment. She scrolls, and there it is. 27 photos. A pop-up celebration that wasn't for her. Photo 1, Mom, radiant, carrying a 3-tier vanilla cloud that reads, "Chloe is our star in gold icing." Photo 3, Dad, who claimed overtime, arms slung around Chloe, beaming like the prodigal daughter just came home. Photo 6, Great-Aunt Judith, who missed Madeline's college graduation clutching a gift bag big enough to hold dreams. Photo 11, the fireplace mantel stripped bare of Madeline's science fair plaques, now draped with a banner shouting, "We're so proud of you." Photo 27, Chloe clinking crystal with Mom, champagne fizzing like applause she's never earned. The caption burns, "Household is everything." The timestamp, 11:30 p.m. last night. Madeline's birthday. Her thumb shakes. Rain scent drifts through the cracked window, mixing with the leaf rustle of October sidewalks. She tastes metal and memory. Every year it's the same. She pays Chloe's rent silently, sends $500 so the heat stays on, fixes Mom's faucet on weekends like a ghost handyman. And still, this. The overlooked daughter, reliable as sunrise, overlooked like old wallpaper. The cursor hovers over the like button. She can't breathe. Lunch break ticks away. She scrolls back to photo 19, the stack of gifts wrapped in rose gold paper she once mentioned loving. Was it accidental, this small theft? Or another subtle reminder that nothing is ever hers? Her throat tightens. The conference room clock clicks. 1 p.m. Her inbox pings with a new message from the boss. "Cupcakes in the break room whenever you're ready." She stands, smooths her blazer, tries to swallow the storm. The elevator ride feels like descending into her own shadow. Ding. The break room smells like sugar and pity. A single cupcake waits on the table, candle unlit, frosting the exact shade of the forgotten purple balloon from Chloe's party a decade ago. Someone whispers, "Happy birthday, Madeline. We see you." The words land soft as snowflakes on a bruise. For the first time today, her eyes sting not from dust but from something cracking open. She blows out the candle alone. One small flame against 18 years of night. So proud of our girl for landing her dream job interview. Number proud, household number. The best daughter. The timestamp was 11:58 p.m., 2 minutes before my birthday officially began. I set my phone down, my sandwich forgotten. My coworker noticed my expression and asked if everything was okay. I nodded and forced a smile, excusing myself to the bathroom where I splashed cold water on my face and took deep breaths. It was not just that they had forgotten my birthday. They had actively chosen to celebrate Belle the night before for a job interview. Not even a job, just an interview. After I had helped plan Chloe Spencer's elaborate 25th birthday last year, coordinating with relatives and collecting money for her gift, a weekend trip to Nashville she had been hinting about for months. I returned to my desk and finished my workday on autopilot. My boss stopped by with a cupcake and the promised card signed by the team. I thanked her with genuine appreciation for the small kindness that suddenly meant more than she could know. That evening, I picked up Thai food on my way home, a small birthday treat to myself. My apartment was quiet when I entered, just as I had left it that morning. No surprise visitors, no cards in the mail. I ate my pad thai directly from the container while staring at the Instagram photos again, unable to stop myself from scrolling through them one more time. The cupcakes must have cost at least $200 from that bakery Mom always said was too expensive. I recognized the jewelry box from the high-end store at the mall. The champagne was the brand Dad saved for special occasions, and there in the background of one photo, barely visible but unmistakable, a gift bag from the tech store with the corner of a laptop box peeking out, the same laptop I had mentioned wanting when my current one started showing signs of age. The exact model I had researched for months, waiting for a sale or bonus from work to justify the expense. I set my food aside, no longer hungry. The air felt thick, like breathing through wet wool. Neon green notification dots winked at me, mocking. I scrolled again, thumbnails glittering, confetti frozen midair. Every glowing face blurred into the same smug grin. My ribs ached from clenching. Rain scented the night outside my open window, sharp, metallic. I could hear leaf rustle in the parking lot gusts. I replayed Mom's 6-word sentence. At least someone is worth baking for. Each word struck like hail on glass. Tiny cracks webbed outward. My thumbs hovered over delete, then hovered over type. My pulse drummed in my ears. I didn't post tears, blame, or heartbreak. Just 2 polite words. Nice cupcakes, neutral tone, calm, unbreakable, or so I told myself. But the twist arrived like static. Hidden Instagram post published 12 hours earlier. A live stream. Chloe Spencer wearing the perfect off-shoulder top, front camera on the selfie stick, smiling into the glow. Faux casual voice. My sis couldn't make it tonight, but we're keeping her vibe in the room. Swivel to Mom. Mom waves at the lens, relief softening her smile. I watch as Chloe Spencer zooms, pinches the screen, and centers me, framed on a digital frame across the mantel I built last Thanksgiving. The backdrop. Unseen wallpaper. A still photo in a living celebration. The comments erupt hearts, fire emojis, endless stars. I realize they never forgot my birthday. They simply celebrated me silently, so I could stay silent forever. A soft chime on my locked screen. Mom sent a belated DM. Heartfelt words now feel like late rain after the flood, but the rain scent has cleared. My breath steadies. Something new clicks inside my chest. Release. I shut down the app, close the laptop, exhale midnight into the room. Tomorrow, my story can't be measured in crumbs. It starts with the quiet click of the door behind me, leaving the party frame, stepping into the night that finally feels mine. Then Belle herself replied to my comment. Sorry, sis. Guess Mom loves me more. Lol. Maybe next year you will have something worth celebrating, too. The casual cruelty stole my breath. The lull, as if her words were not a knife twisting in an already gaping wound. The implication that I had nothing in my life worth celebrating despite my degree, my job, my self-sufficiency, despite the fact that I had been silently supporting her for years. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. This was the moment where I typically swallowed the hurt, made an excuse for their behavior, laughed it off to keep the peace. "Not today," I typed. "Enjoy it while you can." 4 words. Simple, a bit cryptic, but I knew what they meant, even if my household would interpret it as a petty comment from a jealous younger sister. Within minutes, my phone rang. It was my cousin Amber, the one who had posted the photos. The only one who seemed to notice the exchange might indicate deeper issues. "Hey, Madeline Brooks, happy birthday," she said when I answered. "You remembered," I replied, unable to keep the surprise from my voice. "Of course I did. Listen, about last night, I feel bad you were not there." "Why was there even a party last night?" I asked. Amber hesitated. "Your mom said Chloe Spencer needed a confidence boost before her big interview. Said we should show her how much the household supports her." Another pause. "I did ask about you. Your mom said you were too busy with work to attend household functions lately." The lie stung. I had not been invited to a household function in months, despite regularly asking when we might get together. "I sent money for this party," I said quietly. Dad called it a special surprise the household was planning. I thought it was for Mom's birthday next month. "Oh, God, Madeline Brooks, I had no idea." Amber sounded genuinely upset. "That is really messed up." After we hung up, I received a DM from my father. "Happy birthday, kiddo. Sorry I cannot call today. Taking Chloe Spencer shopping for interview clothes. Dinner soon." A sharp scent of pine and sunscreen floods Madeline's senses. She's instantly back at that sun-drenched household beach day. Laughter bubbles around her, but it feels distant, like a soundtrack she's not part of. Chloe, her younger sister, shines in the spotlight, surrounded by smiling relatives, soaking up all their attention. Madeline's hands clutch a cold, forgotten sandwich, the salty breeze mixing with the sting of tears sliding down her cheeks. That familiar ache of invisibility settles deep inside her chest. Years of being overlooked play like a broken record in her mind. The birthday money she quietly gave up so Chloe could take dance classes. The household gatherings where Mom's eyes always found Chloe first, praising her while Madeline vanished into the background. "Why can't you be more like your younger sister?" Mom would say, with that sharp edge beneath the smile. At the beach, when Madeline asked why she wasn't invited, the answer was always the same. Chloe needs more support right now. But support for Madeline? That was never part of the equation. Tonight, she stared at her phone after a DM from Chloe. Cruel, dismissive. "Guess Mom loves me more. LOL. Maybe next year you'll have something worth celebrating." 6 words that twisted like a knife in an open wound. Usually, Madeline would swallow the pain and move on. Not today. She typed back, "Enjoy it while you can." Short, sharp, a promise. Her cousin Amber called soon after. "Hey Madeline, happy birthday. I didn't forget." Amber's voice was warm but hesitant. "There was a party last night, but you weren't invited. Mom said Chloe needed a confidence boost before her big interview." Another pause. "I asked about you. Mom said you've been too busy with work." The lie burned hotter than the summer sun. Madeline had begged for invitations, sent money, but no one thought to include her. Her own dad called it a special surprise the household was planning, but it was for Chloe. Again. Madeline put her phone down, faced to the table, and finally let the tears come. Not quiet tears, but the kind that shake your whole body. She cried for the little girl who lost her birthday money to Chloe's dance shoes, for the lonely teenager celebrating alone, for the adult who kept giving and giving, with nothing left to take. When the sobs finally quieted, her mind cleared like a storm breaking. She remembered every moment she had been pushed aside, every time she was told she wasn't enough. She opened her laptop, pulling up a spreadsheet she'd kept for years, the list of everything she'd sacrificed, every slight she'd endured. For too long, she'd been the overlooked one, the reliable one, the one who forgave and gave without getting a crumb back. But that night, something shifted. The words, "enjoy it while you can," weren't just a petty reply anymore. They were a vow. Madeline wasn't overlooked anymore. Every DM I sent Chloe, every Venmo transfer, every late-night panic call, I saw the numbers. $17,842, 3 rent supplements, 6 months of utilities, parking tickets, the security deposit I never got back. And what did it buy? A seat at her celebration. Without me. I rubbed my eyes. The rain scent from the open window mixed with cheap vanilla candle wax. My laptop glowed. I typed the landlord's name. Mr. Patterson answered on the second ring. "Ms. Brooks, you still covering Chloe's lease? Her eviction notice came yesterday." My breath caught. Eviction? She told us about her promotion, I whispered. Then I saw a hidden CC in an old email. "Termination effective March 12th. Please clear your desk." 3 months of silence. Her promotion. A lie spun while she collected my money and my mother's praise. My pulse thumped. The leaf rustle outside sounded like laughter. I steadied my voice. "Send me the overdue bill," I said. The final number scrolled across my screen. $4,600. The exact amount Mom transferred her last week. My heart cracked open. Was Chloe drowning while we all watched Madeline drown instead? Suddenly, the villain wasn't Chloe. It was the silence we wore like armor. I had his direct number and email saved. But I also found something else. A red ink notice from the voice company, scanned by mistake to my inbox instead of hers, blared in all caps. "Disconnection Friday." $632. I smelled ozone and the cold drip of rain on concrete. That bill should have been paid with last month's transfer, the one labeled, "for Chloe's electric." I pictured the money sizzling into boutique matcha and ring light kits instead of keeping the lights on. Flashback, 10-year-old Maddie sprints barefoot in dew-tipped grass, clutching an orange ribbon Chloe yanked from her own ponytail. That scrap still warm, tasting of grape gum and our mom's vanilla lotion. Dad's camera clicks fast. Click, click, erasing Maddie from every frame. She remembers the sting of half-pipe gravel under her knees when Chloe cartwheeled, the ribbon tangled like a leash made of shame. Was I ever more than the child holding her trash? Shaking now, I logged into my account. Click. Automatic transfer canceled. 5 days before the next rent draft, gone. The silence in the room felt like a leaf mid-fall, suspended. I started typing. "Mr. Patterson, I'm Madeline Brooks. Effective today, I stop covering Chloe Spencer's rent. 2 years, 0 progress. Let her step up or step out. All inquiries now go to her. Respectfully." Send. My pulse beat inside my ears, a slow drum. I piled evidence on my desk like armor. Bank statements showing $4,600 in gifts. Screenshots of Mom calling Chloe the real success. Chloe's termination email from her job, March 12th, stamped like a scar. Rain scent curled through the window again. Same rain from the night Mom never showed at my graduation party. Was I cruel or finally awake? A sharp cinnamon scent drifted from the kitchen as young Madeline Brooks sat alone at the birthday table, cupcake candles flickering in the half-dark. Laughter echoed from the living room, where Chloe Spencer, the favored kid, was surrounded by household, her golden hair catching the light, her smile stretching wide for Instagram. Madeline watched, her own hands twisting in her lap, the ache of being overlooked pressing in like a cold draft through a cracked window. The world spun around Chloe, while Madeline's presence barely registered. Even the rain outside seemed to tap in sympathy for her, a whisper against the glass, as her hopes crumbled quietly inside. She made a silent promise that night. One day she would prove she was more than overlooked, more than just the reliable backup. Years passed. The household's pattern never changed. Every crisis was Madeline's to solve, every forgotten bill her responsibility. She paid Chloe's rent, covered her lies about jobs, stayed silent while their mom praised Chloe's every move online. Madeline's own achievements were ignored, even on her birthday. She felt the weight of it all, like carrying wet leaves after a storm, until something inside her finally snapped. She gathered every receipt, every DM, every digital trail. She crafted an email, her hands steady. Mom, Dad, Chloe. For years, I've supported this household, emotionally and financially, without recognition. I've stayed silent while you celebrated Chloe and ignored my achievements. I've sent thousands to keep Chloe housed while she lied about her job and struggles. This ends now. All support is canceled. Chloe's landlord has been notified. I'm stepping back to focus on my own life. Please respect this decision. Madeline. Her finger hovered over send. Would they call her selfish? Cruel? Try to spin her into the villain? She didn't care. For the first time, their opinions felt small. She pressed send, shut her laptop, and turned off her phone. The silence that followed was different, no longer heavy with guilt, but filled with possibility. That night, Madeline slept deeply, the weight of resentment replaced by hope. Her 28th year would be the start of something new. Her year, her voice, her life. Day 1 passed in a strange hush. She kept her phone off through the next workday, pouring her focus into a big presentation. Her boss paused in the hallway. "You seem different today." She smiled. "I am." The 5th morning felt like fresh rain. No notifications, just quiet. I stretched in my sun-striped sheets. The scent of espresso danced from the corner machine. Yesterday's me would have been refreshing Instagram, waiting for their guilt messages. Today, I opened a book and actually finished chapter 1. Then the doorbell spoke. 3 taps, sharp, impatient. I shuffled barefoot. Through the peephole, my cousin Amber stood holding a paper-wrapped bouquet, her phone flashlight creating tiny halos. "Happy belated, Madeline," she whispered when I opened. The card, tucked inside, read, "They forgot your voice, don't you?" No tears, just a smile that reached my eyes. Later that night, the real thunder hit. My mom's voicemail exploded on my kitchen counter. "Madeline Brooks Marie Turner, this childish nonsense ends now. Chloe is crying. Come fix your mess." Her words stung like gravel under skin. I set the phone face down, heart loud. By day 7, my inbox howled. Chloe used a friend's phone. "What the hell, Madeline Brooks? Landlord called? Can't afford rent. Fix this." I let the message sit, a weight on the counter, then dragged it to the folder labeled Storm. I slept like someone who had finally remembered her own heartbeat. Day 9. An email from Dad landed. Subject line, calm bait. "Let's talk rationally." Inside, he wrote about the birthday timing. He called cutting Chloe off extreme. He ignored the years of canceled plans, the rent slips, the silent tears. I stared at the screen, cursor blinking, heart racing. Do I open the door or keep it locked? Belle has always been more fragile than you. You know this. She needs our support while she finds her footing. Your mother is beside herself with worry. Please call me so we can discuss a compromise. Dad, I wrote a brief reply. Dad, this is not about a party. This is about years of imbalance and deception. Chloe Spencer has been unemployed for 3 months while pretending otherwise. She has been misusing the money I sent for essentials. At 25, she needs to face the consequences of her choices. I am not discussing a compromise that involves me continuing to enable her Madeline Brooks. By day 10, the situation had escalated. Multiple household members had been enlisted to contact me, each with a different approach. Aunt Judith called my workplace, forcing me to have an uncomfortable conversation with the receptionist about not accepting personal calls. Uncle Pete sent a lengthy email about household loyalty and how blood is thicker than water. Even my grandmother left a trembling voicemail about how disappointed she was in my behavior. Chloe Spencer's messages became increasingly desperate. The landlord says, I have 5 days before eviction proceedings start. Are you seriously going to let your own younger sister be homeless? What kind of monster have you become? This was followed an hour later by, I am sorry about the Instagram comments, okay? It was just a joke. You always take everything so seriously. Please, just send the money this one last time, and we can talk about reducing it gradually. When these appeals failed, the tone shifted. Mom and Dad know everything now. How you have been spying on my emails. How you set me up to fail. Everyone can see how jealous you have always been of me. Good luck ever being welcome in this household again. I maintained my silence, though each message tested my resolve. The old Madeline Brooks would have crumbled, apologized, sent the money to keep the peace. The new Madeline Brooks recognized these tactics for what they were, manipulation designed to restore the status quo. On day 11, my mother sent her most pointed threat yet. You have 24 hours to resume financial support to your younger sister and apologize for this disruption, or you will face consequences. Do not test me on this, Madeline Brooks. The vagueness of consequences might once have terrified me. Now it only confirmed I was making the right decision. That same day, Belle's boyfriend Dylan, whom I had met exactly twice, sent a rambling message accusing me of destroying Belle's mental health and always trying to sabotage her happiness because you are jealous of how much everyone loves her. I blocked his number along with several others, creating a small circle of peace around myself. I focused on work, accepted a dinner invitation from colleagues. I had often declined in the past due to household obligations, and even scheduled a consultation with a therapist, something I had considered for years, but never prioritized. The unexpected bright spot came when Amber called to check on me. I saw the email you sent with all the evidence, she said. I had no idea you were supporting Chloe Spencer financially all this time. No one did, I replied. That was the point. Well, for what it is worth, I think you are doing the right thing. Amber said, It is about time someone in this household stood up to the Chloe Spencer worship, and I am sorry about your birthday. I should have realized something was off when your mom insisted you could not come to the party. Her support meant more than I could express, a reminder that perhaps not everyone in my household was part of the toxic dynamic I had escaped. As day 12 dawned, I knew the real explosion was coming. Chloe Spencer's rent was now officially late, and the landlord would be making decisions about next steps. I went to work prepared for the storm, yet somehow feeling more centered and calm than I had in years. The call came at 2:17 in the afternoon. I was in a meeting when my phone lit up with Chloe Spencer's name. I declined the call and continued my presentation. 2 minutes later, it rang again and again. By the 5th consecutive call, my boss nodded for me to step out and handle whatever emergency was occurring. In the hallway, I finally answered, What, Chloe Spencer? The shriek was so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. The landlord just called. He is starting eviction proceedings. Fix this right now. I cannot fix this, Chloe Spencer, I said, keeping my voice calm and professional. This is the consequence of your choices. My choices. You chose to stop paying without warning. You chose to ruin my life because you are jealous about a stupid party. You have been lying about being employed for 3 months, I replied. You have been misusing the money I sent for utilities. Those were your choices. So what? You make plenty of money. You do not have a life anyway. So, what else would you spend it on? The casual cruelty still had the voice to sting, but not to break me. Goodbye, Belle. I suggest you start packing or finding a way to pay your rent. I ended the call as she was mid-scream and returned to my meeting. 10 minutes later, my phone began buzzing continuously with notifications. Our household group chat, dormant for months except for Chloe Spencer's announcements, had exploded. Mom, Madeline Brooks, answer your phone immediately. Dad, this has gone too far. Call your younger sister. Aunt Judith, I cannot believe you would do this to your own blood. Uncle Pete, your grandfather would be ashamed. And on, a chorus of outrage and condemnation. I muted the chat and focused on finishing my workday. At 4:30, the receptionist called my extension. "Madeline Brooks, your mother is in the lobby. She seems upset. Security is asking if they should escort her out." My heart raced, but I took a deep breath. "Tell them I will be right down." In the lobby, my mother was pacing, her face flushed with anger. When she saw me, she pointed a shaking finger. "You? How dare you humiliate our household like this?" The security guard looked at me questioningly. I smiled at him. "It is okay, Frank. This is my mother. We will step outside for a moment." Outside the building, I turned to face her. "Mom, I am at work. This is inappropriate. Inappropriate. You know what is inappropriate? Sending private financial information to the entire household. Making your younger sister look bad to make yourself feel important. She could lose her apartment." "Mom," I said quietly, "Belle lost her job 3 months ago and did not tell anyone. She has been lying to all of us. She was trying to find the right time to tell us. She did not want to worry us. She had no problem worrying me when she needed money. I pointed out she had no problem accepting my help while mocking me publicly. That was just teasing. You have always been too sensitive." A colleague walked past, eyeing us curiously. I maintained my professional demeanor. "I cannot do this here. If you want to have a civil conversation, we can schedule a time to talk." "Oh, now you want to talk after dropping this bomb on everyone? Your younger sister is having a panic attack. Your father had to leave work early. All because you could not handle not being the center of attention for once." The irony of her statement was so profound, I almost laughed. "Mom, when have I ever been the center of attention in this household?" She dismissed this with a wave of her hand. "You are coming with me right now to apologize to your younger sister and reinstate the payments." "No, I am not." The simple refusal seemed to shock her more than anything else. In her world, I always eventually gave in. "Excuse me," I said. "No, I am going back to work now. I suggest you leave before security becomes concerned again." I turned to go, but she grabbed my arm. "If you walk away from this household now, do not expect to be welcome back." I looked at her hand on my arm, then into her eyes. "That sounds like a threat, Mom. It is a reality. Household stands by household." "Funny," I said, gently removing her hand. "I have been standing by this household financially and emotionally for years. Where was this household stands by household motto on my birthday?" She had no answer for that. I walked back into the building, nodding reassuringly at Frank, the security guard, as I passed. My hands were shaking, but my resolve was intact. That evening, the real confrontation arrived. I had just settled in with dinner when my doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I could see Chloe Spencer, my mother, and my father all standing in the hallway. I considered not answering, but decided it was better to face this head-on. I opened the door, but blocked the entrance. "Yes." Chloe Spencer pushed forward. "You need to fix this now. The landlord says I have 3 days to pay or get out." "Then I suggest you start packing," I replied. My father stepped in, always the mediator. "Madeline Brooks, please let us come in and discuss this rationally." I hesitated, then stepped aside. They filed in, Chloe Spencer immediately throwing herself dramatically onto my couch, my mother perching tensely on an armchair, my father standing awkwardly by the window. "Nice place," my father commented, looking around. "I do not think I have been here since you moved in." 2 years ago, I confirmed. An uncomfortable silence followed. I did not offer drinks or make small talk. Finally, my mother spoke. "Madeline Brooks, this vendetta against your younger sister has gone too far. You have made your point. Now it is time to be the bigger person and help your household." "This is not a vendetta," I said. "This is me stopping an unhealthy dynamic that has gone on far too long." "By making your younger sister homeless," Chloe Spencer interjected with a sob. "You would not be facing eviction if you had been honest about losing your job and made arrangements with your landlord," I pointed out. Or if you had used the money I sent for its intended purpose instead of whatever you actually spent it on. I had expenses, Chloe Spencer protested. Like what? The designer bag you posted about last month? The weekend trip to Miami with Dylan? My father looked confused. Chloe Spencer, you said you were still employed. When did you lose your job? Chloe Spencer shot me a venomous look. It is complicated, Dad. They reduced my hours and then eventually let me go. But I have been interviewing for 3 months. I asked with no results. The job market is tough right now, she snapped. Especially when you were fired for chronic tardiness and poor attitude, I added, pulling up the termination email on my phone. Would you like me to read this to everyone? My mother intervened. Stop attacking your younger sister. This is exactly the problem, Madeline Brooks. You have always been jealous of Chloe Spencer, always trying to make her look bad to make yourself look good. Mom, I said quietly, I have been paying 40% of Belle's rent for 2 years. I have been covering her utilities when she claimed she could not afford them. I sent money for car payments, for medical bills, for emergency after emergency. All while you and Dad celebrated her and ignored me, including throwing her a pop-up celebration the night before my birthday using money I contributed. We did not know it was your birthday, my father said weakly. You forgot your own daughter's birthday? I asked, looking him directly in the eyes. He had the grace to look ashamed. Things have been hectic. They are always hectic when it comes to me, I said, but never too hectic for Belle. That is because Chloe Spencer needs us more, my mother exclaimed. You have always been independent, always handled things on your own. Because I had to, I replied, because no one was going to handle them for me. So, this is punishment? Chloe Spencer asked. You are punishing me because Mom and Dad love me more. The room went silent. The truth laid bare in Belle's careless words. This is not punishment, I said after a moment. This is me prioritizing myself for the first time. This is me refusing to continue supporting someone who takes without appreciation, who mocks me publicly, who lies about her situation. What do you want? My mother demanded an apology. Fine. We are sorry we forgot your birthday. We are sorry about the party timing, but this response is completely disproportionate. I do not want an apology, I said. I want change. I want recognition of the pattern that has dominated our household for decades. I want Belle to take responsibility for her own life, and I want to focus on mine. By leaving your younger sister homeless, my father asked. Chloe Spencer has options, I pointed out. She can get a job, any job, to pay rent while looking for something better. She can find a roommate. She can move back home with Mom. She can downsize to a more affordable place. Those all sound horrible, Chloe Spencer wailed. Welcome to adult life, I replied, the life I have been living while subsidizing your extended adolescence. My mother stood abruptly. This is getting us nowhere. Here is what is going to happen. You will reinstate the payments to the landlord, at least until Chloe Spencer finds stable employment. In return, we will make more effort to acknowledge your contributions. The condescension in her tone was the final straw. No, I said simply. That is not what is going to happen. What is going to happen is this. I am going to continue living my life free from financial obligation to Chloe Spencer. And as it happens that life might be changing significantly soon. 3 pairs of eyes fixed on me. What does that mean? My father asked. I have been offered a position in our Chicago office, I said, revealing information I had been sitting on for weeks. A significant promotion with relocation assistance. I have accepted it. Chicago? My mother repeated. You cannot move to Chicago. Who will help with household matters here? That is exactly my point, I said. I have never been seen as a daughter or younger sister in this household. I have been seen as a resource, a backup plan, a safety net. Well, the safety net is being folded up and put away. You would really abandon your household? Chloe Spencer asked, tears streaming down her face. After everything we have done for you? The question was so absurd, I laughed out loud. What exactly have any of you done for me, Belle? Name one thing. She opened her mouth, then closed it again, looking to our parents for help. My father cleared his throat. Madeline Brooks, I understand you are hurt, and perhaps we have overlooked certain things, but cutting off your younger sister and moving across the country seems extreme. It is not extreme, I countered. It is healthy. It is necessary for all of us. If you do this, my mother said, her voice tight with anger, do not expect our support. I have never had your support, I replied. That is rather the point. The truth of it hung in the air between us. My mother gathered her purse, a signal that the conversation was over. Come on, Chloe Spencer. We will figure this out ourselves, as always. Chloe Spencer stood, mascara streaking her cheeks. For a moment, I saw a flicker of something beyond the tears and tantrum. Fear. Real fear of facing consequences without me as a backup. Allie, she said, using the childhood nickname she knew I had a weakness for. I cannot lose my apartment. Please, I will do better. I will get a job tomorrow. I will pay you back everything. I have heard those promises before, I said, not unkindly, but this time you will need to prove it with actions, not words. You are really not going to help me. The realization finally seemed to be sinking in. I am helping you, I said, just not in the way you want. My father lingered as my mother stormed out, Chloe Spencer trailing behind her. Madeline Brooks, he said quietly. I never realized the extent of what you have been doing for your younger sister. No one did, I replied. That was how Chloe Spencer wanted it. He nodded slowly. The party. That was poorly timed. I should have remembered your birthday. Yes, you should have. Chicago, huh? He said after a moment. That is a big move. A necessary one. He seemed to be struggling with something. Finally, he said, I have not been a good father to you, have I? The simple acknowledgement after years of imbalance brought unexpected tears to my eyes. Madeline turns the phone over and over in her cold palm. The rain on her Chicago windows sounds like the leaf rustle she grew up with, like Mom still calling from that distant cul-de-sac. She taps open Chloe Spencer's new Instagram story. Neon visor, Chloe beaming in a polo. Caption, honest work, honest coin. 3. Then Madeline's heart stalls. In the mirrored curve of the visor, her own old bedroom poster, galaxy swirl, tiny glitter stars, now pinned above Chloe's fry baskets. Same wall, same scent drifting in memory. Rain-soaked asphalt and cheap lavender. Madeline whispers, she moved into my room, my only safe corner. Why? She presses play again. Frame holds. Chloe's eyes flick toward that corner. Wistful, not smug for once. A quiet admission, not a flex, not a takeover. A plea. See me. The DM bubbles arrive before Madeline can breathe. First, hate you 5 ever. Then, deleted, replaced with softer words. I don't know how to do this without you. Madeline stares at that sentence until the screen dims. She remembers the therapist's soft voice. Boundaries hurt because they're real. The silence between pulses feels infinite. She types back, simple, raw. I'm still here, just not the old way. No hearts, no exclamation points. Honest. Chloe's typing indicator blinks, then vanishes. Madeline pockets the phone, heart hammering. Snowflakes spiral past her window soft as apologies. She doesn't feel healed, but she feels seen. That, for now, is enough. The cinnamon hit first. Warm, sticky sweetness curled through the kitchen, hugging the corners like a promise Mom never kept. Chloe Spencer snatched the first swirl, glossy icing dripping off her perfect manicure. Madeline, 28, overlooked, still the reliable shadow, waited by the sink, tongue chasing sugar left on the plastic spatula. Dad's laugh cracked like Sunday bells. Mom's phone aimed only at the favored kid. Madeline's bare feet chilled against the tile. She tasted leftovers and heard hope crumbling like dried icing at the bottom of the pan. Was this what love looked like? A camera flash pointed anywhere else. The DM came late. Hate you 5 ever. Deleted. Replaced. I don't know how to do this without you. Madeline stared until the screen went dark. She typed back, I'm still here, just not the old way. No hearts. Period. Months passed. Snow muffled Chicago. Amber handed her cocoa and whispered, You okay? Madeline nodded. The leaf rustle outside sounded softer now, less like Mom's call, more like memory letting go. Dad called, maybe Christmas. She smiled, unsure. Chloe Spencer's email arrived. 4 months steady work, bookkeeping course, half-admitted regret, progress. Madeline hit reply. Short, clear, boundaries like frost on glass, beautiful, sharp. She realized the most loving act sometimes is stepping back and letting them find their own spatula. Most important. I finally admitted I deserve a mic, not just leftovers. 29 is knocking. I rent the corner cafe Mom always called Too Indie. Frosted glass. 1 candle. My name on the RSVP. First time ever in print. Soft jazz leaks from cracked speakers. Rain scent drifts in every time the door sighs. I line 12 cupcakes in a half circle. No swirl too tall, no color matching Chloe's aesthetic. These are mine. Amber pops the first bottle. Sparkling cider, not champagne. You sure? She whispers. I nod so hard my throat clicks. Door creak. Chloe steps inside. No ring light. No ring. Snowflakes cling to her lashes. She clutches her phone like contraband. Our eyes lock. I draw 1 slow inhale. Cinnamon and cold. Heart hammer louder than the espresso machine. I built this table not to chase your highlight reel, I say, but to see my own outline. She sets the phone, screen dark on the counter. The shop hushes. Steam coils above the espresso like quiet applause. Chloe's tears glint. 1 step closer. I didn't come to film, she murmurs. I came to sit. We stand, breathing in tandem, candle winking between us. I blow it out. Not a wish, a release. Silence folds gently. No camera flash, no Mom's laugh. Just the low hum of the fridge and the soft thud of 2 hearts recalibrating. She reaches into her pocket, pulls out an envelope, places it beside the dark phone. My name in her handwriting. No filter. I don't open it yet. I want the air to hold this moment a few seconds longer. Chloe wipes her cheeks. Your cupcakes are uneven, she whispers. They look real. I laugh. 1 sharp sound that bounces off the brick wall. She laughs too, shaky like a kid learning volume. Amber steps back, letting the space stretch between us sisters. The rain outside intensifies. Silver streaks on glass, each drop tapping. Keep going, keep going. Inside, the room glows amber from Edison bulbs. The cinnamon scent deepens. I taste sugar and possibility. Chloe's shoulders unclench. Mine follow. I slide 1 cupcake across the table. Vanilla. Plain. Perfect. She picks it up, takes a bite, eyes widening. Not staged, just surprised that simple still tastes good. I take the other half. We chew, listening to the quiet we've never shared. The envelope waits, but so does the moment. We let it stretch until the candle's smoke curls into nothing. Outside, the snowfall thickens. Flakes swirl like unhurried confetti. Inside, I realize celebration doesn't need an audience. It needs witness. Tonight, I am both guest and host. Chloe is learning to be both, too. The distance between our chairs closes by inches, not miles. I exhale once, twice. The leaf rustle from earlier chapters sounds different now. Less threat, more soundtrack. We speak in half sentences. Bookkeeping final, past. Pop-up, break even. Each word a breadcrumb toward somewhere kind. The rain tapers. Snow settles like hushed applause. The fridge kicks off. Silence rings, bright, clean. We sit in it. No DMs, just breath. I glance at the envelope. Chloe's fingers twitch. I reach across but pause. Space is still sacred. She meets my eyes. Later? I nod. For now, the cafe's dim corner holds both our past and next. The snow outside softens streetlights into watercolor halos. I taste vanilla on my tongue and realize I am not celebrating a birthday alone. I am celebrating the first year I refused to be a footnote in someone else's story. Have you ever had to choose between being everyone else's safe choice and finally becoming your own main character? What did you leave behind, and what did you find waiting at a single candle table? Tell me below.